Now let's add some detail to our exhaust pipes. Alright, so this piece right here is what we want to add, and we can actually use the existing muffler to help us create this. So I'm going to go ahead and select these edges, and let's just put an edge right at the base of this piece. So we'll go ahead and do connect, and we'll drop this in, and I've got about 56 minus 56. Say OK to that, and then I'll give us a place to copy these from. So I'm going to go ahead and take from either here or here, either way, and just get a selection of polygons around the surface here for that bottom base part. And now let's go ahead and detach this. So we'll go to Edit Geometry, Detach. We'll detach that as a clone. Okay, so that'll give us that piece, and it will leave the muffler untouched. So that's this guy right here. So we'll go ahead and select now the polygons of that, and go to Edit Polygons, and let's bevel those. Okay, let's go ahead and take the height down, and let's take the amount down as well. And we'll do by local normal. And so we just want it to have a little bit of an angle right in there. Okay, so we'll just modify that until we get it kind of the way that we want it. And now we can go ahead and take this ring of edges right in here. Let's go ahead and do connect, 2 segments, turn the slide off, and then we'll pinch that out to the sides. Same thing here on the sides. Go ahead and select the ring. Okay, and then we'll do connect, and then we'll pinch that out to the ends as well. And there, when we go ahead and smooth that, and smooth this guy, you can see we get a nice little piece sticking off of there. Okay, so now we need to create the piece on top of that. Okay, and that is going to be this piece right in here. So again, we can use the geometry that we have. So I'll go ahead and convert that back. And now if we take a look at this and grab some of the polygons here, you can see maybe these 2 are ones that we can use. And so let's go ahead and select all of these polygons in that row. So we'll select these guys all the way up here. Okay, and let's go ahead and select all of these as well. Okay, all the way down to the bottom. Okay, now let's go ahead and again detach these. Okay, and so we'll go to Edit Geometry, Detach. Detach those as a clone. So now we're just layering on and layering this kind of geometry together here. So now what we can do is let's go ahead and let's just add a shell modifier to this. Give it a little bit more thickness. So we'll go down to our modifiers and add a shell just to this particular piece. Okay, we'll go ahead and dial up the outer amount. So you get something like that. Okay, and then let's go ahead and take these segments down to 1. And so I got a little bit of thickness there, right? So let's go ahead and now collapse this and turn it into an editable poly. And now I want to modify this piece right in here before we do anything else. So I'm going to take this edge right down here, go ahead and select the loop, and just Control Backspace to delete that. Select these polygons right here. Okay, I'm going to go to World, and let's just pull these out. And from the side, go ahead and just pull those down, scale them down a little bit. Okay, and add them to attach them to our pipe there. So we can kind of rotate those to work with our thickness a little bit. Okay, and I'll just kind of pull those in right around here. So just something like that. Okay, now let's go ahead and select these edges, and I'm going to be smoothing this, so I want to have these edges nice and sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and take that ring, and let's go ahead and Edit Edges, Connect. Slide that over to the side. Let's do the same thing over here. Go ahead and select that ring, and then do the connect as well, this time on the other side. Do like a -90. Alright. And then let's do one around the sides of this. So go ahead and select the ring, and then connect a couple of segments. Turn the slide off, dial that up. Alright, so now when we smooth this, and let's go ahead and add a modifier, and let's just add a turbo smooth to this. When we smooth it, you should get a little bit more hardness on some of these edges. The reason I'm smoothing it is I want to get enough geometry in here to be able to cut out a hole for this bolt. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and up the iterations to 2 on this turbo smooth. Okay, if I turn edge faces off, you can see what that looks like. And if I go ahead and now smooth that geometry underneath, you get something like that. Okay, but this geometry on top is actually a little bit higher resolution. Okay, so you can layer the modifiers on top of this and do some editing on the stack. I oftentimes will just collapse the stack out of habit. Go ahead and turn that into an editable poly. Okay, and now we can come in, and if we want to create a kind of a bolt hole, we could come in and start to modify some of these points. We'll just go locally here and just kind of pull some of these out into the rough shape that we want. Okay, we could select both of these, kind of scale those in a little bit. Same thing here. Okay, and then we could take those polygons, just do an inset, a very small amount, something like that. Okay, and then we could go ahead and extrude those down. A local normal, take those down. Again, extremely small amount in the inside. Apply that. Okay, say OK to that. And then we do another inset, and that'll give us a place to put our bolt there. Okay. And so now if we were actually to go ahead and smooth that, you get a nice hole there that we can add a bolt to. All right. Now on this part, in this area, we want to do the same thing here as far as adding a new piece. Okay. And so this piece would be this guy right in here. And you could also weld those together if you want to add the welds that we'd put on the frame. Okay. And to do all of that, we need to convert these. So we'll go ahead and take that curve, and we're going to assume that we've got the curve drawn out the way that we want to. You could always copy this and keep it somewhere safe, the curve, if you wanted to keep that. So I'm going to go ahead and convert this to an editable mesh, and then an editable poly. And we'll do the same thing over here. Take this NURBS curve, and then convert to editable mesh, editable poly. It'll give us the kind of geometry that we want. And then for this piece, we just want to do the same thing that we did for this guy. Okay? Take some polygons from here. So if we go ahead and select this and grab some polygons, okay? We just grab a few polygons, clone that, and add the thickness to it, and then smooth it out and add that resolution in there and for these pieces. Okay, that's something you can add just to add a little bit of detail. It's one of those little pieces that are visible there that you can add. And you can also, now that we've got these as polygons, you can also combine these and add the welds across back here on the back where they actually connect. All right, so just use this technique as far as grabbing geometry from existing pieces that already matches up. We did that a couple times to create this piece, and then do the same thing down here to create that piece right along here. So give it a shot. In the next lesson, we'll actually start to add the more of the swing arm. So this kind of piece right in here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that in the next lesson.